Well, thanks again for joining us. We've got a distinguished panel here to talk about appliances. We're not talking about hardware appliances, we're talking about software appliances and open source appliances and a whole lot more. To give us a little bit of an overview, I'd like to get a feel for what exactly Novell means when they talk about SUSE Studio and appliances and things of that nature.
Sure. So when we talk about software appliances at Novell, we're thinking about them as a combination of operating system, application, and middleware, all pre-configured and pre-installed in a single image. And for us, that is a software appliance. That can be a virtual appliance to run in a virtual environment, say VMware. It could be a software appliance to be installed directly onto a hardware platform. And when we talk about the SUSE Appliance program, we take that form factor of an appliance and we deliver both a combination of elements, the tools, the support, and the go-to-market support that make it very simple for ISVs, such as those here today, to not only build the appliance, but to get it to market and be successful with this as a packaging method for their software.
So John, I want to flip over to you. Is this real today, or is this something Novell is still brainstorming about?
No, it's no longer hallucination. It's real. In fact, the uptake on it is we had over 62,000 registered users of the appliance program. Over 290,000 appliances have been built. And we have over 4,400 ISVs in the program, including the distinguished partners we have here today. So very real.
Okay. And from the research standpoint, IDC, I spent the 1990s covering hardware appliances. Are you seeing a shift more to this software appliance conversation among your customer base?
Very much so. In fact, we've been tracking it for over 3 years at IDC, and we've seen the awareness for software appliances continue to ramp up. And in fact, if you look at certain market segments, such as the, say, security appliances, where there was a heavy penetration of traditional hardware appliances, those market segments are very, very friendly towards software appliances, but not to say that that's it. I mean, the market is really much more broad than just simply a transformation of hardware appliances into a software form factor.
Mm-hmm. And John, from your perspective, I understand that ISVs understand the appliance market. Do end customers understand yet, or is Novell doing a lot of education about appliances at this point?
It's a mixed answer. Whether or not it's a software appliance as they ask for it. They'll ask for the concept of a software appliance. They might call it an integrated application stack. They might call it part of their core build process. But in the end, what they're asking for is the capabilities of the software appliance program. So a little bit of education, and then a lot about delivering the capability, regardless of what it's called.
Okay. Let's get a little bit of the ISV perspective here. So from Zamanda's point of view, Groundwork open source, Ingress, is this your first time working sort of in the software appliance world? Let's get the Ingress perspective first. When did you begin looking at software appliances as an opportunity, potentially?
We first started in 2007, and we created with partners an appliance aimed at delivering a complete stack for business intelligence, and then we did one for content management. And at the time, we really had to kind of do a lot of the work ourselves. So this was before Novell came up with this program. And we didn't have the benefits of working with a large partner like Novell, but we did get very positive feedback. Customers really liked the idea of something that you could plug it in and it would do something. And they might not call it a software appliance,
right,
but the notion of a toaster, you plug it in the wall and you put Hovis in the top, you get toast out. That knowledge of very fast path to getting something done is extremely attractive. And so, yeah, we've been at this for a couple of years now, and we were delighted to hear that Novell were going to really step forward as a major player and take this concept to reality.
Mm-hmm. How about from the online backup world or the on-premises backup world? Big trend in terms of software appliances emerging now?
Sure, and by the way, we do have customers who explicitly ask for, hey, can I have this in a virtual appliance format? And we also started thinking about it maybe about a couple of years ago, and we had a few drivers similar to what Roger mentioned, where we wanted to cut down on our customers' installation and configuration time. But we actually had another motivation. We wanted to go after the Windows market, and we don't have a server which runs on Windows. So we wanted to basically ship an appliance which basically will run on a virtual machine running on top of a Windows host. Mm-hmm. So that was another motivation for us to start looking at it. And then once Novell came up with the program, we jumped on it.
Okay, and now Groundwork open source, you guys have been in the business of disrupting the traditional IT management platforms out there. Software appliance is going to play a key role in that going forward?
Well, it's really heavy lifting for us for the last 5 years, trying to transform large enterprises, medium-sized businesses to using our technology. for fear of, what is this open source going to do inside the company? So you weren't going to get you're competing against a multi-million-dollar platform trying to come in maybe 10% of the pricing, but it was a light switch for that IT decision maker, right? So they're sitting there saying, hey, I don't know if I want to move out all of my IBM in lieu of this open source company. What Novell and the appliance business did for us is it was able to get us to capture an appliance that could go into a company right away. It could plug in like a toaster, the bread would pop out, and they're like, hey, this works pretty well. Let's migrate that across the entire enterprise now. And so it's, our customer base has gone ×4 just in the last 4 months, basically because we're able to deliver an appliance at a low cost that can expand. So it's been big for us.
John, closing question to you in terms of this chapter. Is this too good to be true? Is it really as easy as plugging in a toaster in terms of getting started with an appliance?
Well, nothing is always as easy as it appears, but the concept of combining an application middleware and an operating system, that is not some future off vision. We're actually doing it now. These gentlemen are proof positive of that. And I think the adoption is the real important point. When you've got numbers in the hundreds of thousands of these things being built, it's well beyond early adopter phase.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, everyone, for your thoughts. That ends this chapter, but join us for the next chapter. We're really going to zero in on customer benefits.